Jared Leto as Morbius, the living vampire? Say what? That's right. In startling news this week, it's been signed by Sony Pictures that they're making a Morbius movie in their own universe, just like Venom, not connected with the MCU, and it's going to be on the Morbius comic book character, and starring Jared Leto, who, as you might know, played recently the Joker. There is still a planned Joker solo film, as I'm making this video, on the DC end, which will not be affected. And so to have an actor in two major roles is quite a startling event. Sure, we've had actors before for both DC and Marvel, but this is stuff that's going on currently, and it's some pretty high-end work, for one actor. And so, why Morbius? And I guess, first of all, Sony really wants to build their own spin-off universe that is not part of the MCU. And for whatever technical reason, they got the movie rights to Morbius. Even though he started out in Amazing Spider-Man number 100 as a Spider-Man villain, he has never been what you would call a mainstay Spider-Man villain. He's been an anti-hero, he's been a villain, he's been his own character that really hasn't fit in or interacted in someone else's world. He always seems just like the Punisher is his own character, started in the Amazing Spider-Man book. Morbius is his own character. And so I'm surprised that it's a part of the Sony deal somehow, right? And they are building up this universe of their own titles with interconnected films, but it's not MCU at all. And, Morbius is a living vampire. He is not a real vampire in the supernatural sense. He is a guy who experimented on himself, accidentally has vampire-like powers, but he does not turn into a bat, he does not turn into mist, or a werewolf. He does not change forms like that. And he has pale skin, he needs to suck blood, he could glide, he's like a scientific vampire. And as far as comic book fans go, he's not an A-lister, he's not a B-lister. I would consider him a C or a D-lister at best. If you ask the general public who Morbius is, they will look at you with a blank stare. No idea who that is. They know who Batman is, they know who Spider-Man is, or Superman, maybe the X-Men. They don't know who Morbius is. Even with comic book fans, most will be like, yeah, they've heard of him, he's a vampire, but has Morbius driven people to buy issues? In other words, when Venom would appear, when Carnage would appear, when the Juggernaut would appear, comic book fans would buy that issue because they had an appearance in it. It was a reason to buy it. With Morbius, it feels like, oh, he's in the book, I'm not buying it for him, I'm buying it for Spider-Man in the book, or Wolverine in the book. And Morbius, he's kind of there, so, okay, whatever. He doesn't seem to, he had one title in the 90s with the Midnight Suns. That was probably his only solo book run, and it didn't last long, so he can't even hold his own title. And so for Sony to take chances, it's a surprise that, again, this is not a big league character. And, is it going to win over the general public? That is the issue. Well, Guardians of the Galaxy did succeed, and who heard about them in terms of the general public ever, right? So it's definitely possible it could do well, but are they going to market it towards a very dark, as it should be, themed hero? It can't be a comedy. So It seems like Sony with Venom, with Morbius, it seems like they're building up a dark universe of monsters, which is funny because Universal tried their own dark universe with the Mummy, with vampires, and it failed. So it'd be kind of funny if Sony could succeed making these horror, dark universe type characters in an interconnected world, just like Universal was trying to do, but couldn't succeed at. So it's kind of funny and all that. Honestly, the weirdest thing is, because the Morbius news struck out of nowhere, is what other characters will Sony eye up to make in future movies? You know, what other plans in terms of future characters that they want to build up into solo projects? And honestly, no idea. It could be just about anything, I think, in terms of the properties or characters that they might have ownership of movie-wise. As for Jared Leto, I think he could potentially do a really good job in the role. Hopefully do a better job than he did as the Joker in terms of the general public, because his Joker was mixed reaction at best. And there is supposedly, besides that, another Joker movie without Jared Leto in the works at DC. That's 2 Joker movies. And I think they should definitely reconsider that second Joker movie. Is it still on the table or what? So far it seems to be that way. And so that's it for this video. Thoughts about Morbius, thoughts about the Joker, Jared Leto, and what is Sony planning and doing in their solo spin-off movie world. And that's it. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and talk